Hey everybody, shoulder mobility time. This time we're going to talk about shoulder capsule. It's something that can restrict us in how we can, move at the shoulder joint. So we're going to talk a little bit about that and how to stretch it, how to access it too. Most of our life, as I've said before, is we live it forward. What we don't do is get that much back into our into our shoulder. So just for certain things just like reaching up like this. By the way, here's kind of a test that you can see, like, can I get back into that shoulder joint very well? So I'm here and my arm I'm able to get it to my ear, maybe even a little bit behind my ear. So that's decent. As someone who's had restricted shoulders in the past, it's been an accomplishment. So anyway, that's one way to kind of tell. And then also without, really arching that low back. So you want to be able to do it without having to access that low back too much. And just things like, can I reach up here for something? Can I throw? Can I strike? All that kind of stuff. Can we do that? Sometimes people don't find out about it until, it's kind of too late. That whole idea of like, they say, don't reach into your back seat for anything because you'll tear your rotator cuff. Well, that's a bit of an exaggeration, but still, people have hurt themselves or they just can't do it. Like if I want to reach in and there's something heavy, I can do it because again, I've worked on, like, I have more mobility. So where's my backpack? Put it up here. Watch out for that semi coming at me. But anyway, you really want to be able to have that kind of that mobility. And I think what happens over time is if we don't access it, and again, if you're not, if you're not specifically active that way, if you don't use it in that way, it's going to kind of happen where that's just going to get, like that kind of shrink wrap effect. So I'm going to show you two exercises today. One's a passive one, one's a more active one for kind of getting access to that rear shoulder. As opposed to just having it be kind of like a bonk bonk where you really, the shoulder isn't going anywhere. So you try to get that arm back either here in this plane or in that plane, it's just not going to go. Your body just doesn't have the ability to do that anymore. Sometimes because of specific structures here, sometimes because the muscles around it also get really tight. And so let me get to the first exercise. So let me show it to you standing up first, just to give you an idea of like what I'm going to be doing with it, and then I'll show it to you as on the ground. So you can imagine me on the ground right now. So I have my elbows here, kind of even, like, wait, you want them to be like the elbows to be like directly below the shoulders, so that I'm going to just fall in between those shoulder blades. So like my chest will become more convex. The back, between the area between the shoulder blades will become more kind of concave as I'm pushing back into that shoulder capsule. Just show it to you on the ground here. So in here, I'm on my pelvis and my belly and at my elbows and my forearms too. So like this. So as I said, my elbows are directly below my shoulders. And then I'm going to get my head into a certain position here, and then just fall in between those shoulder blades. And push myself back up. Now usually when you do this, you want to kind of hold it at the bottom here. You want to just be just really passive here. Just let let this whole torso, as I said, fall in between those shoulder blades. So again, I'm just kind of pushing back into here. It has that effect of just, just kind of like a piston, just pushing up like this, just to stretch that shoulder blade. So when I get down in this position, I like to hold it for at least 10 seconds. So, and then do it in sets. So now I'm going to push myself back up, back down in this position. And the importance of the head position is that you don't want to be like totally like this where you're just really trying to keep it away from the ground, but you also do not want to have it be the case that you're just kind of letting that head fall to the ground. It can give you the impression that you're getting more movement at the in between the shoulder blades than you are. So the relative position of the head should be should be the same. And just, again, just let those, just fall in between the shoulder blades, and then back up. So that's the passive one. Let's get to the active one now. So let's look at an active way of getting some mobility in your shoulders, and again, being able to like access the rear of your shoulders and kind of stretch out that rear capsule. So this is an exercise that I have really come to like a lot. When I first started trying it, I was going through some tendonitis in one of my shoulders, and I couldn't even get into the beginning position. So shoulder tendonitis can be pretty tenacious, but now I've gotten to the point where I have way more mobility and strength in the movement than I thought I would get to. But again, it just took a lot of patience to work on. So this is a weighted bar. I would recommend when you're first doing it, it is nice to have some kind of, like a bar that you're holding on to. It could be like a dowel rod, a broomstick, whatever, but just something to kind of keep you honest a little bit as you're doing it. So I do recommend having something that you will be holding on to help with the exercise. So here's how it goes. So I'm taking this bar, and again, this is where this is how I recommend people doing it. So the bar is resting on top of my my shoulder blades, really. So I kind of have it back there pretty far. And then to add to that, I'm gonna shoot those elbows forward just a little bit. So that has the effect of taking this whole shoulder complex, which has this roof on top here. It's gonna take that shoulder complex and just really rotate it back. So that roof gets out of the way. So as I lift up here, it's not in the way, as opposed to if this is overhanging like this, I'm not going to get past that roof here. So again, this has me rotating at the shoulder joint here, and essentially I'm just getting my shoulder blade to the point where it's going to be in an orientation where it's way less tilted forward and more just like, let's just say as vertical as we can get it. So you sometimes even maybe a little bit past vertical, which isn't a bad thing either, just again, to be able to get more space. So anyway, back to position. So from here, again, elbows forward, and then it's just a case of as high as I can get it, finish off strong with those triceps, and then pull it back down on that same plane. Because man, is it ever tempting once you're up here to just kind of do this to relieve some of the stretch, and then just bring it back down here. But again, it's here, like it's almost going up in a slot. Touch the ceiling. I'm really feeling those muscles next to my spine working really hard to keep my shoulder blades, again, in that kind of tipped back position. So let me show it to you one more time. Straight up to the ceiling. Try to lock it out, and then come on back down. So you could see that I did get into some extension in my low back, and that's fine. I mean, I personally wouldn't be able to do it without getting into some extension back here. So in other words, kind of just having it be, get a little bit of a curve in it that way. But please don't do too much, because as an example, to get it straight up, if I don't have the mobility in my shoulders, I'm going to kind of do this, and then I've kind of lost it here. So I'm going straight up, but the movement that I'm gaining is not from the shoulder, it's not from my thoracic area, it's from my lumbar spine. So again, as much as you need to, to use that lower spine, that low back to get in position, please go ahead. But then just don't let it get any more. Press it up, a lot of movement at the thoracic spine, and then back down. So hope that helps. Thanks for watching.